Hello, this is Haruo Shimada, chairperson of the Management Committee of Tokyo Metropolitan University. Today I have an interesting story telling you what sort of international activity that Tokyo Metropolitan University is doing. It is just one of those things. From the end of October 2018 and the beginning of November, myself and a few members of Tokyo Metropolitan University, professors and officers, went together to London and Paris. The incidence was that the governor Yuriko Koike visited London to conduct a kind of a ceremonial meeting, putting together many people of London to tell people that City of Tokyo and City of London formed a partnership agreement, and by doing so, Tokyo particularly wants to develop Tokyo as a major center, a financial center of the world, working together with the City of London. The City of London is well known as the most distinguished center of financial businesses in the world. And as part of this comprehensive partnership between Tokyo and City of London, educational segment is included. Under that, Tokyo Metropolitan University and City University of London conducted a series of negotiations to come up with a memorandum of understanding under which both universities cooperate to create good results of student exchange and research cooperation and things like that. And this conference was organized for that purpose. And in the morning of that day, which is actually October 31st, Governor Yuriko Koike made a beautiful speech. She tried to explain the importance of this project, and particularly she told very interesting stories to attract young, even there were some young students, and she encouraged them to be creative, and she talked about the future of Tokyo. Particularly Tokyo is a city putting together old elements and new elements, and lots of arts, and very attractive city. And as a governor, 2 years ago, she started major policies, three aspects. One is a safe city, that is Tokyo assure people to have a safe life, even though we have a tremendous earthquake. And diversity, that means all kinds of people, Japanese foreigners, old and young, and men and women live together to spend a nice life, that diverse city. And smart city. Smart city is a city of intelligence, technology, particularly to promote environmental protection. And she attracted the attention of people by talking these things. And also, of course, she will be the most responsible person to conduct Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics of 2020. And she emphasized that we have many things to learn from the experience of London, and she will make a tremendous Olympics, particularly focusing on minimizing the use of energy and transmit the experience to the next city which will organize Olympics and Paralympics, which is Paris. And in terms of environmental protection, people often say 3R. One is reduce garbages, and second one is reuse, And third one is recycle. And Governor Koike put up another concept, the fourth one, fourth R, which is respect. And respect means everything has a value to be saved, so that use things carefully. In Japanese, mottainai. And this was a very attractive speech, and many people liked her speech. It was amusing and with a visual aid, colorful, and very interesting. I followed her speech as a chairperson of the Metropolitan University to tell more exactly what has been the Tokyo-London partnership and the partnership between two universities. And I explained rather in detail how we came up with a memorandum of understanding between the two universities and what are aiming at to achieve what kind of results and so forth. And also taking advantage of the opportunity of that time, which is, interestingly enough, 150th year of the naming of Tokyo. And I go back to the history of Japan and Great Britain. And it was largely the help of Great Britain to modernize Japan from the feudal era to a modern country. And young hawks or samurai learned eagerly from the civilization of Britain and built a powerful country. And Britain helped Japan in terms of organizing Anglo-Japan treaty. And with that treaty, Japan was able to fight the war against Russia and won. And after the World War II, Japan took a great advantage when Great Britain joined EU because London is the gateway for EU. So once Japanese companies invest in London, those companies can do all kinds of business throughout the European continent, which was a great help for Japan to grow much further in the post-war period. But now, Great Britain is trying to getting out of EU, and which is a very difficult challenge. The Prime Minister, Theresa May, is working very hard to struggle with this challenge. And I said, this is now our time. It's now our time that Japan will work with Great Britain to help realize the dream of Prime Minister Theresa May. Theresa May once said, even after getting out of EU, she will make the Great Britain the genuinely global Great Britain. And I said, Japan will be more than happy to work with you with Great Britain after Brexit. And people applauded it. And this was the conference part of it. And after the conference, we had a very good socialization time with the professors of City of London University. And we talked lots of things. We started out our cooperation by studying financial science. However, the vice president of City of London University hinted, why not we extend our cooperation in the area of health and also other scientific areas, which will be fantastic if we can. After that, we went to Paris. We had a clear-cut purposes. One is to visit what they call Station F. Station F is a huge organization of embracing nearly 1,000 venture companies. And President Macron visits that institution a few times. That's why Station F became very, very famous. And we visited there and listened to the explanation, looked around. It was a very interesting experience for us. Another purpose was to visit tourism incubator, tourism industry incubator. Currently in the world, incubator is really fashionable things because incubator fosters many venture businesses. But as far as we know, the incubator specialized in tourist businesses is perhaps the only one in Paris, which is called Welcome City Lab in Paris. And the leader of that incubator is trying to make Paris. Paris is one of the most looked after, most prosperous tourist city in the world, but he wants to make it even further, more advanced tourism center of the world. And this section is part of the public corporation called Paris Co. In English, Paris Company, Paris and a Company. And this person has has a lot of experience in administration, public administration, and businesses, and now he is working almost fiercely to organize many venture businesses and help them, assist them to develop and make an initial public offering in the market and things like that. It was very, very interesting experience. Also, we try to follow the path of Governor Koike. Governor Koike is highly welcomed in Paris too, and in the garden in front of, or the Lotanda in front of the city building, interesting architecture is existing. This is a pavilion called Furoshiki Paris. Furoshiki is a wrapping cloth, and wrapping cloth usually has a design of arabesque design, and this is a pink and white arabesque design, strange squared house. And there are lots of things to be demonstrated within, and we visited there. Also, we saw a poster contest between students of Tokyo Metropolitan University and Paris University at one of the main street corner of Paris City. Actually, their art work is fantastic, very well done. So this is just a little bit of what Tokyo Metropolitan University is doing as part of international activity of our university. I'm going to come back again and tell you lots more stories as time comes. Thank you very much. I'll see you again.